You won't believe what happened to two kids who came from Nairobi slums with nothing, absolutely nothing, but faith. They met at a tender age, dated for over 9 long years, hungry, broke, doubted, and almost forgotten. People laughed at them. People said that it will never work. But what happened next shocked an entire nation.
It's been 8 years now. It's been 8 years.
Oh my God.
Ever since I met you, life yangu really changed. Like I said, ningekuwa nauza mkate.
From surviving Nairobi's harshest streets to a proposal on live television, from having no money to a fully sponsored wedding that felt like a miracle. But that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next. A song that broke records, millions of views, millions of doubters silenced. This is the shocking rise of Wapendwa Muziki, Mesh and Nina. Tears, prayers, setbacks, and faith when everything said give up. Today, they're one of Africa's biggest gospel duos, one of Kenya's most powerful content couples, and after years of waiting, a baby, a promise, a living testimony. This is not just a love story. This is not just music. This is what happens when faith refuses to die, and you haven't heard the whole story yet.
The story is long, but we are here now.
This is the rise of Wapendwa Muziki, and their story is going to leave you speechless. Nairobi, Kenya, the year was around 2012. In the harsh and forgiving streets of this sprawling city, two young souls were about to cross paths in a way that would change their lives forever. Baby Mpendwa and Nina Wambui, both teenagers, were navigating life in environments that tested every ounce of their faith and resilience. They were not born into privilege. They were not handed opportunities on silver platters. They were just two young people trying to survive in a city that had little mercy for the vulnerable. When Mesh first saw Nina, something inside him shifted. He later revealed in interviews that he was actually dating someone else at the time.
Katoka nje nikafanya ni mrembo. So me I took advantage kwa sababu hizo enzi my type of ladies walikuwa this type.
But the moment Nina approached him, he knew he couldn't let that opportunity slip away. He had been waiting, watching, hoping for a chance to be with her. And when that moment arrived, he made a decision that will define the rest of his life. Nina, on the other hand, was young, full of dreams, and desperately seeking something real. In a world that felt increasingly uncertain, she didn't know that this young man, Mesh, would become her partner in faith, her co-creator in ministry, and eventually her husband.
This guy nani, I just became curious kiasi. So there's a talent competition I was going to, and I was like, maybe I can use this guy, but I didn't know nilikuwa najua ni nani.
But here is the thing that most people don't understand about their early relationship. They had nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. No stable income, no clear future, no safety net, just faith, hope, and an unshakable belief that God had a plan for them. They met at a tender age, barely adults, and from the moment, they embarked on a journey that would test every fiber of their being. 9 years later, and let that sink in for a moment, 9 years of dating before they finally said I do. For most couples today, 9 years might seem like an eternity, but for Mesh and Nina, it was a period of profound transformation, intense struggle, and unwavering commitment. During this time, they faced challenges that would have broken most relationships. Financial hardships was a constant companion. There were days when they couldn't afford to pay rent. Nina has often shared how they would lie awake at night, wondering how they would survive another month. They were young in ministry, but without stable jobs or a reliable income. But that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next. They made a decision that shocked many people when they finally revealed it years later. They chose to practice celibacy throughout their entire dating period. For 9 years, Mesh and Nina committed to waiting until marriage, and this wasn't just a casual decision. It was a deeply spiritual commitment rooted in their faith. Nina later revealed that just before their wedding, she had gotten a coil, a form of contraception, which sparked mixed reactions among their followers. Some praised their discipline, others questioned their choices. But for Mesh and Nina, their journey was always about more than pleasing the public. It was about honoring their faith and each other. During the 9 years, they were also building something that nobody could see yet, their ministry. They were writing songs, performing at small churches, sharing small testimonies, and slowly, painfully planting seeds that would one day bear incredible fruits. Mesh had described this period as one of the hardest times in his life. There were moments when he questioned everything. He came from a family with history of infertility, and that fear haunted him. He wondered if he would ever be able to have children. He wondered if he was making the right choices, and he wondered if their sacrifices would ever amount to anything. Nina too battled her own demons. She struggled with her health issues that would later be diagnosed as fibroids, conditions that threatens her ability to conceive. She cried countless tears, questioning why God would allow such trials in their lives. But through it all, they held on to each other, they held on to their faith, and they held on to a promise that one day their story would be a testimony that would inspire millions.
Hata sikuwa nasikia kila alikuwa anasema, nilikuwa nasikia tu bla 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 tomorrow.
Really?
The harsh Nairobi streets taught them resilience. The sleepless nights taught them prayer. The empty bank accounts taught them trust. And the long waits taught them that God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't make sense. But that is not all. Wait until you see what happened next. The year was 2021. After 9 years of waiting, struggling, believing and holding on, Mesh decided it was time. He had a plan that will not only change his life, but will capture the hearts of the entire nation. Mesh Mpendwa proposed to Nina Wambui on live television. Can you imagine that? A young man who couldn't afford to pay rent just months before, now standing before cameras, before the nation, declaring his love and commitment to the woman who had walked with him through the darkest valleys. The proposal went viral almost instantly. Kenyans were captivated by their story. Here was a couple who represented everything that so many young people were going through: the struggle, the faith, the hope against hope, and now they were getting engaged. But here is where the miracle truly began. Mesh and Nina were broke. They had no money for a wedding. They had no sponsors lined up. They had no elaborate plans. All they had was their love, their faith, and a video of a proposal that was now trending across Kenya. And then something extraordinary happened.
Congrats you guys. Oh my gosh. I hope it fits. Oh, it fits perfectly. Awesome, awesome. Very, very good. Oh.
Well-wishers began to reach out. Strangers who had been moved by their story started offering to help. Businesses saw their authenticity and wanted to be part of their journey. And before Mesh and Nina could fully comprehend what was happening, they had a fully sponsored wedding. In 2021, Mesh and Nina stood before family, friends and thousands of viewers online as they exchanged their vows. It was a wedding that nobody, least of all them, could have predicted. They walked down the aisle, barefoot, a symbolic gesture that would become their signature, representing humility, authenticity, and their journey from the ground up. Nina had described that day as surreal. She couldn't believe that the same couple who had struggled to pay rent was now celebrating a wedding that was fully covered by sponsors. She couldn't believe that their years of waiting, their years of trusting had led to this moment. Mesh, ever the emotional one, cried throughout the ceremony, and this time, nobody told him to hold back his tears. This time, these tears were celebrated as a statement to what God can do when you refuse to give up. The wedding wasn't just a union of two people. It was a declaration to everyone watching that miracles still happen, that faith is not in vain, that God can take you from nothing, turn into something beyond your wildest imagination. But the story doesn't end here. This is just the beginning of their dramatic rise. After their wedding, Mesh and Nina, now known collectively as Wapendwa Muziki, meaning beloved music, began to pour their hearts into their ministry through music. They had always been passionate about gospel music, but now, as a married couple, their harmonies took to a new depth, a new resonance. They started releasing songs that told their story, songs about waiting, songs about faith, songs about God's faithfulness in the midst of impossibility, and people listened. Not just listened, they were moved, transformed, and inspired. But nothing could have prepared them for what was about to happen in early 2025. On March 5th of 2025, Wapendwa Muziki released a song called Amefanya Mungu, which translated to God has done it. The song was a powerful declaration of thanksgiving, a culmination of everything that they had walked through. It was their testimony set to music. And Kenya went absolutely wild. Within just 4 months, their music video for Amefanya Mungu had surpassed 10.5 million views. This was unprecedented for a Kenyan gospel song. It broke records, it shattered expectations, it proved that authentic ministry rooted in real struggle and real faith resonates with people in ways that manufactured content never can. Nina, reflecting on this milestone, said it was proof that God was moving through their music. She admitted that they never imagined hitting such numbers so quickly. From their very first upload, they hoped their message would touch hearts, but reaching over 10 million people shocked them beyond words. Their song became an anthem. It played in churches across Kenya, it played in homes, it played in cars. Everywhere you went, you heard people singing, Ona vile amefanya Mungu, and look at what God has done now. But this wasn't just about the numbers, this was about the impact. People were sharing testimonies of how the song had manifested to them, to their own struggles. Women dealing with infertility found hope. Couples facing financial hardships found strength. Young people navigated uncertainty, found encouragement. Wapendwa Muziki had become more than just a gospel duo. They had become a movement, a living testament that your beginning doesn't determine your ending. Their YouTube channel Wapendwa Muziki exploded in popularity, gaining over 500,000 subscribers. They were now among Kenya's most influential content creators, documenting not just their music, but their day-to-day lives as a married couple, navigating ministry, fame, and the challenges that come with both. Their authenticity was their superpower. They didn't pretend to have all the answers. They didn't hide their struggles. When Nina was diagnosed with fibroids, they shared it. When Mesh battled his fears about his family's history of infertility, he opened up about it. And when they couldn't afford things, they admitted it. And people loved them for it, because in a world of curated perfection, Mesh and Nina were refreshingly real. By mid-2025, they were performing at major events across Kenya and beyond. They had become one of Africa's biggest gospel duos, known for their rich vocal harmonies, their barefoot performances, and their unwavering messages of faith and hope. But wait, there is even more, and this is where the story takes an even dramatic turn. After 4 years of marriage, Mesh and Nina faced something that tested their faith in ways they had never imagined. They wanted a child desperately, but months after month, year after year, it didn't happen. Nina's fibroids diagnosis loomed over them like a dark cloud. Mesh's family history of infertility whispered doubts in his ear. There were moments when Mesh admitted he thought he was sterile, that he might be the next in his family line to struggle with having children. They prayed, they fasted, they sought medical advice, they researched, they did everything they could, but nothing seemed to work. Nina has shared openly about their emotional toll this took on her. Every negative pregnancy test felt like a crushing disappointment. Every baby announcement from friends felt like a reminder of what they didn't have. She questioned God, she cried out in frustration, and she asked, why did this have to happen to me? Mesh too battled his own internal demons. He felt responsible. He worried that Nina would resent him if they could never have children. He wondered if their testimony would somehow be incomplete without this blessing. But they refused to give up. In fact, they did something remarkable. They released a song manifesting their faith for a child. They dressed up as expectant parents in their music video, declaring by faith what they hoped to see become reality. Some people thought it was bold, others thought it was presumptuous, but Mesh and Nina knew that sometimes you have to prophesy to your situation before you see the change. And then, on October 9th of 2025, after 4 years of marriage and countless tears, they made an announcement that sent shockwaves across Kenya. They were pregnant. Nina stood before their YouTube audience, her voice trembling with emotion, and said, "Failure is impossible with our God. Many of you have watched us grow. You have been there since day one. I pray that God will elevate you." She went on to say, "You guys said we need a baby. All these things need patience and God. I pity the people who have not yet known Christ. If you are watching this video, may this be an opportunity to give your life to Christ." Their pregnancy wasn't just a personal victory for Mesh and Nina. It was a testimony of faith for millions who had been watching their journey. It was proof that God hears prayers, even when the answers take longer than expected. But the story gets even more emotional. Throughout Nina's pregnancy, they continued to share their journey with transparency. They talked about the challenges of pregnancy after struggling with fibroids. They discussed how they were preparing mentally and emotionally to become parents. They even faced criticism when they shared a list of requirements for the house help they were hiring, with some accusing them of being proud, but they navigated it all with grace. Mesh opened up about his fears during an interview in November of 2025. He shared how his family's history of infertility had haunted him long before he even got married. He revealed that infertility had quietly affected several members of his extended family for years. Though it was never openly discussed, he said, "Nina did not even know that infertility existed in my lineage. She only came to learn about it much later. It is not something you can easily talk about or even admit openly. From the first day, I always prayed and told God, please, not me next in this infertility thing." But God had other plans, better plans to not only give them a child, but to make their testimony resonate across nations. And now we arrive at the most recent chapter of their incredible journey. On January 5th of 2026, just yesterday as of the recording of this video, Mesh and Nina welcomed their first child, a baby boy. Nina shared the news on Instagram, revealing that it felt like a dream to finally hold the title a mom. The post was accompanied by intimate videos showing her cuddling their newborn. Just minutes after birth, she looked tearful, exhausted, emotional, overwhelmed. Everything a new mother feels after bringing life into this world. In one video, Nina is shown deep in sleep in a hospital bed, with their baby boy lying peacefully next to her, both mother and child resting after their intense journey of childbirth. For Mesh and Nina, this wasn't just the birth of their son. This was the culmination of years of prayers, years of waiting, years of believing against all odds. This was their Amefanya Mungu moment in the most literal sense. God has done it. Kenyans flooded their social media with congratulations and testimonies. One person wrote, "She's not my sister, neither are they my relatives, but it is another day to join hands with the Wapendwa Muziki and thank God because, for sure, God did it." What is it about Mesh and Nina that has captured the hearts of millions? Is it their authenticity? Is it their vulnerability? Is it their refusal to pretend that life is easy, or that faith removes all struggles? They have shown us that you can be anointed and still face battles. You can be blessed and still experience delays. You can be favored and still walk through valleys. Today, Wapendwa Muziki stands as one of Africa's biggest gospel duos. They have over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. Their songs break records with over 10.5 million views in just 4 months. They have performed at major events across Kenya and beyond. They have collaborated with top artists and influencers. They have been featured on television shows and radio programs. They are not just musicians. They are content creators, ministers, influencers, and now parents. Mesh and Nina are living proof that when you hold on to faith, when you refuse to give up, and when you trust God even when you can't see the way forward, miracles happen. Not might happen, not could happen, miracles will happen. And as they begin this new chapter as parents, one thing is certain, their story is far from over. In fact, it feels like it's just beginning, because now they're not just singing about what God has done, they are living it. They are holding in their arms, they are raising it, and they are nurturing it. This is Wapendwa Muziki, from the slums to stardom, from nothing to everything, from waiting to celebrating, and from tears to triumph. This is what happens when you refuse to quit, when you choose faith over fear, when you believe that God is writing a story far greater than you could ever imagine. And their message to you is simple. If God did it for them, He can do it for you too. You just have to believe, you just have to hold on, and you just have to trust that your story is being written by a God who specializes in impossible situations. The rise of Wapendwa Muziki is not just their story, it's a reminder that your story too can be one of miraculous transformation. So hold on, keep believing, keep praying, keep trusting, because your Amefanya Mungu moment is coming.